Time to meet the president-elect's choices to run the economy. Are they up to the historic challenges? They have a tough assignment, to say the least, rescuing the financial system, saving corporate giants, and maybe your job and your home. Our White House correspondent Ed Henry is covering the transition in Chicago. Ed, the names weren't surprising. We've been hearing about them, but we still don't know an awful lot about the plan, do we?
That's right, Miles. For the third straight day, we heard the president-elect and his advisors hint at a massive economic stimulus plan, but for the third straight day, they still offered no details about what will be in it or how they'll pay for it.
President-elect Barack Obama is trying to have the best of both worlds. First, using his bully pulpit to suggest he's all over the financial crisis.
That work starts today, because the truth is we do not have a minute to waste. Right now, our economy is trapped in a vicious cycle.
But when pressed on the details of his stimulus plan, he falls back on the notion that there's only one president at a time.
I don't want to get into numbers right now. Part of the task of this economic team behind me is to help to shape the details of that plan.
The president-elect is also hedging on how quickly to honor a campaign promise to raise taxes on the wealthy. He can push a law to overturn the Bush tax cuts in January, or let them expire at the end of 2010.
Whether that's done through repeal or whether that's done because the Bush tax cuts are not renewed is something that my economic team will be providing me a recommendation on.
He's leaving the details to his new money team. Tim Geithner, head of the New York Fed, who's now in line for Treasury Secretary. Larry Summers, who gets policymaking power inside the White House as head of the National Economic Council. Christina Romer, who will handle research and analysis at the separate White House Council of Economic Advisors. And Melody Barnes, director of the Domestic Policy Council.
And in the coming weeks, I will provide the American people and the incoming Congress with an overview of their initial recommendations.
While Team Obama fine-tunes its plan, the president-elect is lashing out at the big three automakers for not having one of their own before seeking a bailout.
I was surprised that they did not have a better thought-out proposal when they arrived in Congress.
Now, the president-elect said he still wants to help the automakers, but they can't get a blank check. Some Republicans on Capitol Hill are saying the same thing, though, about Mr. Obama's stimulus plan. Senator Jim DeMint of South Carolina saying if the price tag runs up to $700 billion, it could run the nation over a fiscal cliff. And I can tell you, we'll be pressing, though, Mr. Obama on the details about all of this tomorrow. Just announced in the last few moments he's having a press conference here in Chicago, 12 noon Eastern. Miles?
I suspect there'll be a lot of economic questions at that session, to say the least.
You can bet, though. You can bet.
Ed Henry, thank you very much. The Obama